United Supermarkets Arena. It's a sellout and a whiteout as the Texas Tech Red Raiders have an early 12-6 lead over Iowa State. The Cyclones come in ranked third in the country, but they're down 6 with 14:34 to go, and that's due in large part to JT Toppin.
Sophomore from Dallas, transfer from New Mexico, has been outstanding. He was hurt early, getting his rhythm back. Excellent rebounder, and he's got off to a good start inside as well, and he knocked down a 3-ball, Rich.
JT Toppin is the leading scorer and leading rebounder for the Red Raiders, and he is off to a hot start. And a lot of the numbers that JT Toppin's put up so far in this game have been because Elijah Hawkins has delivered the ball, and that is what Texas Tech is all about, sharing the sugar.
Yeah, but Elijah Hawkins is a transfer from Minnesota, and he's started to really fit in well with this team. He's a pass-first point guard. Both of these teams go 7-8 deep in terms of guys who can get you 15 to 20. Both teams built on grit and toughness, and so far Texas Tech has held their own against number 3 in the country, Iowa State.
Alongside Fran Fraschilla, I'm Rich Hollenberg. Thanks for joining us on the heels of Cooper Flagg putting up 42. I don't know if we'll see an individual performance like that today here in Lubbock on the South Plains, but these two teams, very similar styles offensively and defensively, both pride themselves on efficiency.
You know, it's interesting, Rich. Both coaches are known for great defense through the years at every level. Both these teams can really score this year, which makes this a fun matchup. And for Texas Tech, they've gotten off to a great start offensively. But this guy, what he is doing in Ames is remarkable. Year 4 now for TJ Otzelberger, and his success over the first 3 speaks for itself.
They're one of just 6 one-loss teams remaining in all of college basketball. That one loss coming in Maui against number 2 Auburn. A Janai Broome-Tippin prevented them from being undefeated at this point in the season. They come in 13-1, a 10-game win streak. That's the second longest in the nation, but they've already taken a body blow from these Red Raiders in the first 5+ minutes.
Now, this is a great home atmosphere for Texas Tech. Anybody who's been here for big games knows that.
McCaslin's got a couple of subs on the floor, but Chance McMillian is a starter, the best three-point shooter in the country. He hasn't taken one yet, and he missed that shot, and it's Iowa State basketball.
Talk about Iowa State. It starts with Tamin Lipsey, the all-Big 12 point guard, only a junior now and homegrown from Ames High School.
From the little Cyclones to the big Cyclones. Here's Keshon Gilbert. A Wooden Award midseason top 25 candidate, but he traveled with the basketball, and that's the 3rd Iowa State turnover.
Nice job by Christian Anderson, the freshman. Grant McCaslin told us yesterday he's going to be a very good defender, but he has a knack for scoring as well, Rich.
The freshman Anderson, checked by Lipsey, who gets knocked down by Federico, and it's an offensive foul on Texas Tech. Now JT Toppin set to check back in an early 8 for number 15 and White, who leads this Red Raider team in scoring and rebounding. And Hawkins back on the floor, the top assist man for Grant McCaslin, as is Kevin Overton, another key reserve who transferred in this year.
Only a sophomore, a young man who played in the NCAA tournament last year for Drake. A lot of these transfers in previous stops have played in winning programs.
The short roll goes off the hands of Momcilovic out of bounds, and that is turnover number 3 for Iowa State. Both of these teams take great care of the basketball. Very high nationally ranked in assist-to-turnover ratio. Here's Toppin. Hawkins with the step back. Off the mark, Heisey the rebound. And here comes Curtis Jones. Right now, the leading scorer for Iowa State coming off the bench.
See how that ball goes side to side. Both teams play this way.
Heisey for 3, short. And Toppin snares the rebound. Here's Williams, a matchup nightmare, misses from close range. The putback by Toppin, he's in double digits.
He smells out the ball, Rich. It's an instinct that you love a player to see. Knew exactly where that miss was coming.
10 points, 3 boards in the early going for JT Toppin. Both his older brothers, Obi and Jacob, playing in the NBA. With 6 on the shot clock, Keshon Jackson goes to work. So the defensive numbers down just a little bit for TJ Otzelberger. What do they like to do defensively, though, Frank?
Oh, they're going to lock in, switch at 4 spots. They're going to keep the ball out of the paint as much as possible and overload one side of the floor defensively. Dallas, Texas, the South Oak Cliff area where last year he starred at New Mexico. Rookie of the Year in the Mountain West. Ironically, Texas Tech has got the last 2 rookies of the year. Darrion Williams from Nevada, now JT Toppin. And Rich, the numbers are prolific early. Excellent rebounder. We showed you the 3-ball, but he really gets it done inside more than outside.
And I misspoke earlier saying that he was brothers with Obi Toppin and Jacob Toppin. That is not the case. He has 3 younger siblings, and he's got the ball now.
They jump
and that
higher.
One's blocked.
They jump higher than him, but he's a good rebounder.
JT Toppin had 12 offensive rebounds earlier this season in a 22-point, 18-rebound effort.
These 2 big fellas for the Cyclones, Jackson and Jefferson, they have been outstanding, particularly offensively.
4 on the shot clock. Deep 3, Hawkins, too strong. Weak side, another offensive rebound for Texas Tech. Here's Toppin, another 3 attempts. This one's off to the left. And it's going to be Iowa State basketball.
Listen, I don't think Graham McCastle is going to mind, TJ Otzelberger will mind if JT Toppin shoots 3s. Only made 3 all season. Let's take a look. Let's watch right here. This is not reviewable. Looked like it was off yellow.
But it is yellow ball. Cardinal gold of the Iowa State Cyclones. They're wearing their road golds today. You don't see that very often. But they come in ranked 3rd in the nation with the 2nd longest win streak in the nation, looking to make it 11 today. Toppin in traffic, another rebound.
That time he held his own because Jackson is going after him inside.
Here's the freshman Anderson. And he gets fouled on his drive.
Watch JT now. Last 2 opponents have really tried to get after him inside and pick up some fouls, and you see he held his ground there on a very physical Keshon Jackson.
First foul on Tamin Lipsey from Iowa State.
Iowa State does a lot of switching, so Chance McMillian not able to get open yet.
Stolen away by Gilbert.
Watch this guy, Rich. He's a playmaker.
2 feet in the paint. Jefferson gets it over Toppin.
I want to tell you, he is a tremendous passer. When you play him one-on-one, he's hard to guard. If you double him, he will find the open man.
Off the mark, Toppin yet another rebound. 10 points, 5 boards for JT Toppin in the early going, and a foul on the floor.
Well, I think early in this game on this end of the floor, he's more active than the Cyclone big fellas.
That foul on Milan Momcilovic, his first.
I got a feeling we're going to see Brandon Chatfield a little bit more as this game progresses, because I think what a play by Lipsey. What a steal.
Momcilovic at the other end.
Rich, that's a scouting report steal right there. He knows they like to throw that inbounds on pass out, and he smelled it out like a defensive back.
Clones have 5 steals already today. They're back within 2. But D5 puts an end to that.
Lipsey's a guy that does not have to score to affect a game.
He went down in a heap, threw that one out of bounds. That's turnover number 4 for Iowa State. And you mentioned number 33 in gold, Brandon Chatfield. He's going to have his hands full today, but he's going to be called on a lot by TJ Altenberg.
Well, he's not worried about having his hands full because he is a competitive kid. Saw him get 7 offensive rebounds up at Colorado a couple weeks ago. He's a transfer from Seattle, and he's a great fit to come off the bench. It's like an NBA team picking up a really good free agent. 1 year left.
Playing his 121st career collegiate game. Williams almost turned it over. Instead, Anderson with the pull-up.
Tech fans are going to love this kid's moxie and fearlessness.
Lipsy off the mark. Weak side rebound to number 4 in white. And they're ready to take the lid off the USA.
Wants a timeout, but they don't see it.
And they don't hear it either. Now they do.
This young man from Atlanta, Georgia, he's a dual citizen. You'll see him playing for Germany in the Olympics someday, but right now he's a Red Raider, and the South Plains is cooking. Change, he came out to the South Plains. He's a dual citizen. His dad was a longtime German professional player, and he's already represented Germany in high-level competition. But I love about him is he is fearless, and we've seen it early.
He's got the last 2 buckets, part of a 7-0 Red Raiders run. Here's a lob inside to Chatfield.
I'm telling you, when you look around the NBA, the playoff teams have guys like this that come in and they're quietly efficient. And he has been a great addition to this team for 1 year.
Williams, another 3. Gilbert, offensive foul called on number 10.
Grant McCaslin wanted to see toughness from his young Red Raider team today. Take a look, watch Anderson brings 2, Williams knocks it down, and then defensively they've really stifled a terrific Cyclone offense right there. You see the push off by Keshon Gilbert.
Already 5 turnovers for Iowa State. Texas Tech has scored 10 points in their last 4 possessions. Nice feed. The goggles and the dimes from Hawkins.
Hawkins has done a terrific job defensively. Couldn't have said that early in the year.
6 assists in 8 minutes for Elijah Hawkins, and a foul called. And that's number 2 on Darrion Williams as we go to break. 7:42 to go. A dozen is the lead for Texas Tech.
Watch this sleight of hand right there. That looked like Houdini.
Here he is with the left hand. And JT Toppin leads all scorers with 12 points. 6 of those coming from Elijah Hawkins' assists.
That's right, and Elijah Hawkins has been the difference today. Toppin's numbers, hey, terrific. Elijah Hawkins, so you know, has been a 4-year starter at the college level. 2 at Howard University, where he played in the NCAA tournament. Good game against Kansas, by the way. Last year at Minnesota, and he is in a perfect spot with this Red Raider team to drop dimes. Nice cut right there, good back cut off the inbounds. Nice pass by Heisey.
We've seen that twice now out of timeouts from TJ Altenberg. Elijah Hawkins with his 6 assists and no turnovers so far today. In Big 12 play, 22 dimes, 2 turnovers for number 3 in white.
Let's watch right here. Take a look at this little back cut. It's a flex cut off the inbounds. Well done. Rich, I think you got to get after Elijah Hawkins when he's on defense and make him work a little bit harder.
Why is that?
Because of the size. You know, and you could take him into the low post. They haven't done that yet.
Anderson, that might have gotten a piece from Curtis Jones. Top in the rebound, no. And that is a man's rebound from Brant Chatfield.
I'll tell you, Federico and Chatfield, that would be a good UFC fight right there. Two battlers.
Gilbert, double team. Here's Jones. He's been silent so far. Leading scorer for the Clones is in the scoring column now.
That's where he's improved, Rich. Last year, more catch and shoot. Much more effective getting his own this year. He's been quiet early. I don't expect that to stay the case.
Third in the conference in scoring, coming in at over 16 a game for number 5 in goal. Hawkins gets his own there. First 2 of the game for Elijah Hawkins.
That's what we call a hostage dribble. He got the defender on his back and held him hostage until he could get the shot up. Really nicely done. A lot of poise for this young guy.
Gilbert got swallowed up by the Tech defense. First 3 of the game for the best three-point shooter in the nation. 0 and white, Chance McMillian. Jefferson, patience pays off.
I'll tell you what, he's trying to go after JT Toppin and pick up some fouls, but if you do not double Joshua Jefferson, he is going to make you pay inside.
Clones have made 4 of their last 5. Tech's made 7 of their last 9. Offense on display, as expected. Jones the rebound. And Iowa State wants to push.
Oh, that's nice.
Pretty from Jones, and the follow by Chatfield.
They have been doing that all season long, those two.
Timeout on the floor, 5:11 to go.
This is called a Gortat screen. Watch Chatfield get in front of him now and screen out Toppin. Really well done. That's been a long time duel all year.
For number 3, Iowa State alongside Fran Fraschilla, I'm Rich Hollenberg. Chance McMillian.
What? This is what we call a Gortat screen. Watch Chatfield get below the big man, and he's going to screen off 2 guys. They've been doing this all season long. One of the reasons Jones has been so good, Rich, and you know this, is Chatfield is like his bodyguard, and he's getting things done easily for him.
Williams lost it. Jones stole it away. And Curtis Jones will go to the line.
Good piece of officiating right there by Tony Batia. He had the whole play in his view, and he waited till the last second and wanted to make sure of the contact and then blew the whistle.
That foul's going to go on McMillian as Curtis Jones steps to the line to shoot 2. The top bench scorer in the nation. And he makes the first. Here's our next women's college basketball Sunday afternoon doubleheader on ESPN. Number 2, South Carolina hosting number 5, Texas at 1 Eastern. Then number 21, NC State is at Stanford. Should be another great afternoon of college hoops. South Carolina, they're the odds-on favorite to win the national championship, despite not being the number 1 team in the country. Right?
And Texas has Rory Harmon, who's an incredible little point guard who missed last season with that ACL injury. That's good defense.
Back-to-back steals for Curtis Jones. And he tried a little bit of a heat check 3.
He smiled. He looked at it. He looked over and said, "That's my bad." Get the feeling the Cyclones are back in it.
They're down 7, but one of the most efficient offenses in all of basketball. Ken Pom has them rated number 6 in the nation. Here's McMillian. Inside the arc. And the weak side rebound to Heisey.
I think during the season there's times that this group on the floor with Heisey and Chatfield and Jones might even be their best lineup. Nice
Jones. Extra pass and it's paid off.
Keshon
Jefferson.
Yeah, Rich, last year he was a shooter. This year he's more of a playmaker. He creates.
And to your point, Fran, this Iowa State team is plus when Curtis Jones has been on the floor in his 12 minutes. And if that's a foul on Texas Tech, it's going to be another chance for Iowa State to come back.
Pretty ball movement to be expected. Shout out to Andy Bedard, the former Maine star who found him at a very young age, and he has a lot of mentors, a lot of people helping.
Here's a lob out of a timeout, and that's the third time today that they've gotten a basket at close range out of a timeout.
Nicely done, and they've got this crowd pretty quiet right now. Remember, no students here until next week. And quite frankly, Rich, it's not the same kind of atmosphere we're used to.
A 10-0 Cyclones run. And Elijah Hawkins draws the foul and will go to the line.
We mentioned Elijah Hawkins, Rich. Just a little more on him. DeMatha High School, which has produced so many great players, including Adrian Dantley, Danny Ferry.
Played 2 years with Hunter Dickinson there.
Yeah, Hunter Dickinson. They actually played together.
Yeah. Hawkins hits the first. ESPN2 and ESPN Plus. Our pregame begins with SVP and the Monday Night Countdown crew at 6 Eastern. Speaking of the DMV, SVP coming from that area. And Hawkins hits them both.
Good to see Matthew Stafford one more time. I think he's still got some football in him, but already delivered a Super Bowl, trying to do a little bit more for those Rams.
And the Sam Darnold redemption tour continues.
High dribble, yep.
7 Iowa State turnovers in the first half. They average 10 turnovers a game.
Well, it's the toughness and pressure. When we talk about these two programs being similar, remember, TJ Otzelberger has been at Iowa State 4 years, Grant McCasland 2 at Texas Tech, but trying to build that same type of toughness, and we're seeing it from the Red Raiders today. They know the challenge playing number 3 in the country.
12 early points for JT Toppin. He's been silent recently, but now he's back in the scoring column with a game-high 14.
Really good defense.
Here's Gilbert. Held to just 4 in the first half. Jackson's had a good first half. And he gets fouled and will go to the line.
Elijah Hawkins reached in at the last minute. Take a look right here. This duo's been pretty good today. Anderson Toppin. There's that short roll we talked about. You know, Rich, the term short roll has only been up there recently. We've been using it. It used to be the big guy screened and rolled all the way to the basket.
Keshon Jackson barely grazes the rim on his first free throw attempt. Eight points so far for the transfer from Charlotte, and he misses them both. Texas Tech has led throughout. They're up by 7. Overton, left-handed 3, got it. And another dime for Hawkins. Offensive foul on Iowa State.
Watch this split of the trap right here. Right through 2 players and then the kick out. And Hawkins is finding his teammates today. And here you see he's set. Chance McMillian is in position to take an offensive foul. And I know I've used the word a lot today. I've said grit and toughness a lot. Grant McCasland's got a good team, but he's looking for a team that mirrors the team he's playing today. And they've gotten it so far.
Off the window. Lead back to 10 for the Red Raiders. They're going to need this guy to score, and he did now.
Nice job of handling the traffic inside without running anybody over. If you're TJ Otzelberger Another stop and a score would be nice.
Overton tries again. Off the mark. And Heisey another rebound for the Clones. Nice find. Jefferson underneath. He'll go to the line. Curtis Jones with the delivery.
Tell you what Josh Jefferson did right there, Rich. He sealed his man early up the lane and was able to catch that over the top pass. Really, really good fundamentals.
And Fran, I know how you see Jefferson doing work underneath. That's one of the biggest improvements offensively for this Iowa State team.
Well, we always think of them as a defensive team, Rich, but when you look at their numbers over the course of the last 4 years, proof's in the pudding. They've gone from in the 200s to 8th in the country scoring efficiency.
Just 2 for 6 from the line today.
When TJ took over, they were 171 in offense.
And no disrespect to guys like Trey Jones and Rob Jones, but those guys don't have the offensive skills that we're seeing right now from the front court of Iowa State.
Probably a clue to why they're number 3 in the country. That's a foul.
And now Texas Tech's going to be in the 1-and-1.
This young man, I watched him this summer, Rich, playing for the German under-18 team. And I was interested to see how he would fit in. He's a scorer. He's a combo guard. But when you look at Hawkins and some of the other players out there, he's kind of perfect for this group.
Had 13 at Utah. Held to just 2 points at BYU. But Texas Tech swept that Utah two-step.
You go into Provo and win in a nail-biter type of game, and that's a heck of a win. A lot of growth in that game earlier in the week.
Darrion Williams really took over at the end of that game.
Yes, he did. Hawkins great early, Williams down the stretch.
Now under a minute to go. Texas Tech a 9-point lead. Trying to upset number 3 Iowa State.
See if they go 2 for 1 here. And they do.
Jones. And a late foul called by Brooks Wells. And that's going to be on Elijah Hawkins.
Well, let's talk strategy here, Rich. If you're going to go 2 for 1, and we'll see. I'll see if he was moving. Let's see. Oh, I think he was set. He was set. Remember, the new rule is you got to be set before the upward movement of the player. And I thought they missed that one. But getting back to strategy, when you go 2 for 1, you got to get that shot up by about 40 if you're going to get 2 possessions to 1. And you know what they say out in the South Plains? Ball don't lie. They actually say that everywhere.
Everywhere. Free throws have been a little bit of an issue for Iowa State in hostile territory. Jones, a reliable one, goes 1 for 2 that time.
Now on the flip side, if they get a stop and a score, they're really right back in this game.
About 12-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Overton with 10 on the time. No, a rebound by Jefferson, and it'll be final shot time for Iowa State. Trying to build a little momentum. Going into the locker room, they have never trailed in this game.
Now they like Gilbert or Jones here. It's going to be Jones. That should be a foul.
And now Curtis Jones will go back to the strike.
Curtis Jones, a young man, hard to believe. No Division I offers out of Minneapolis. Wasn't recruited because of COVID that year. JUCO, and here's the most amazing thing, Rich. His sophomore year at Buffalo, the guy averaged 2.5 points a game in the MAC.
Jones hits the first. And now Hawkins with 3 fouls goes to the bench. That's something Grant McCaslin's going to have to worry about in the second half. Darrion Williams and Elijah Hawkins both with 3.
I don't think DJ Osselberger won't try to exploit that, but I do like the idea that he plays his guys in the first half and not foul them out.
Jones really announced his presence last year with 26 off the bench in a Sweet 16 matchup with Illinois.
This could be a hook and ladder right here.
Oh boy, picked off Lipsy. Heisey for three. And that would have been a big swing. But it ends up a 6-point advantage for Texas Tech. Going to the locker room, JT Toppin leading all scorers with 14. Curtis Jones chips in for 9 to lead the Cyclones. Now we go to the studio and the Jeep halftime report. Kevin Connors, Jay Williams, and Seth Greenberg.
But don't forget now, the Cyclones, although they have not made a three yet, they've done a nice job of scoring inside the paint. And we've highlighted Joshua Jefferson getting it done around the basket. They're trying to take it to JT Toppin.
We are set to start the second half. It'll be Iowa State in their road golds with the basketball.
Going inside, trying to get that fourth foul on Williams.
And it'll be a jump ball. Possession arrow to Texas Tech.
You know what's interesting about that? It's really good strategy to try to pick up the fourth foul. But don't think Grant McCasland doesn't tell his team, hey, they're going at Williams early, so we got to really crowd the paint. And that's what they did right there.
Number 5 in white, Williams with 3 fouls. Number 3 with the ball, Elijah Hawkins with 3 for Grant McCasland. And that is assist number 9 for Elijah Hawkins.
He has been absolutely, I think the difference in this game is the Cyclones' inability to speed Elijah Hawkins up.
Game high 16 for Toppin now. Here's Jackson, working on Toppin. Gilbert, and there's the first 3 of the game for the Cyclones.
Really nice job right there by Jackson, looking and surveying, and just a little bit help off of Gilbert, and he's able to kick it out, and Gilbert knocks it down.
Before this half started, you turned to me and you said, Iowa State's got a run in them. If they're going to make that run, Keshon Gilbert's going to be a key.
Yeah, there's no question.
Here's Toppin, doing man's work inside.
He's been impressive, Rich. I saw him last year at New Mexico. When I saw him, I hate to say this, I said he will not be at New Mexico next year, unfortunately.
Lipsy in the corner, threw it away. It's kept in bounds. Here come the Red Raiders. McMillian off the window.
Smart play by Darrion Williams. Instead of possibly drawing a charge, he gives it up.
No foul called, but it'll stay Iowa State basketball at the other end.
Hey, by the way, Hawkins gets the hockey assist. The pass that leads to the pass. Normally, Darrion Williams might take that to the hole, but with 3 fouls, he made a great 2-on-1 bounce pass to McMillian.
9 assists, no turnovers for number 3 in white.
All right, what'd we say?
Post them up on defense.
Yep, and that is number 4, and that may change the complexion of this game. He has just picked up foul number 4, and I said to you 30 seconds ago that to me he was the difference in this game, despite how good Toppin's been. And it'll be interesting to see how long Grant McCasland will sit him on the bench.
Usually number 3 in goal, Taman Lipsy doesn't have a size advantage against his counterpart. Today he does, and he took advantage there. Knocks down both free throws.
You're not claiming that Taman Lipsy is a string bean, are you?
No. And not even diminutive.
No, he's not. He's built like a defensive back, but to your point, good strategy.
Williams off the mark, offensive putback by Chance McMillian, who's made his hay closer to the rim than he usually does.
Rich, you know that he did that at BYU, a big offensive rebound late in that game.
Going at 16 in that contest.
Watch this guy go to work. Nice pass. Oh.
Now Jefferson again turns to his right and gets it to go.
That's good coaching right there. Williams has 3, and Jefferson went right at Darrion Williams trying to pick up number 4.
And now Brent Chatfield back on the floor for TJ Altenberger. Here's the freshman Anderson. Goes right at Chatfield. Taken away by Lipsy. But it's going to stay Texas Tech basketball. And now Curtis Jones and Nate Heisey set to check in.
Watch this now, Rich. This guy Jefferson, he's a load against anybody. Darrion Williams is usually going to provide more resistance, but not with 3 fouls. Big moment for Christian Anderson. Uh-oh.
McMillian, 3. Off the mark that time.
I think Chance is forcing them.
Gilbert, never shy. Misses that one, another rebound for Toppin. Chance McMillian, 1 for 2 from 3. He's the #1 3-point shooter in the nation, percentage-wise. Williams missed it. And that looks like JT Toppin is down and twisted his ankle on his progress. Brent McCaslin, when he first transferred in from New Mexico, said he is the best forward I have ever coached, and he's shown that so far today. Now they'll have to make some hay without him. Leading all scorers with 18, now in the locker room. And Gilbert turns it over. That's turnover number 10 for Iowa State. Anderson.
I got it.
They got a good look. He just babied that ball up a little bit. And they're still trying to go after Darrion Williams if they can.
Jones back on the floor and gets 2.
Rich, we saw the jump shot last year. Cyclone fans are seeing more of that this year and versatility in his offensive game.
And don't be surprised if you haven't seen these Cyclones before. Curtis Jones off the bench, leading them in scoring with 11.
He'll get a shot.
On cue.
Fearless.
Ten on the timer. Jones, plenty of time for him.
I've been watching Iowa State for a long time. I'm not sure. There have been a couple guys that dramatically improved. Naz Long, certainly from his freshman year. Curtis Jones is in that ilk, man. He is so much better than he was a year ago, and he was good.
Here's Walton. And a foul on the floor. 14:52 to go. And we've got ourselves a 2-possession ball game.
Little new and a little old. The freshman, Christian Anderson, in a big spot, knocking it down. And then Curtis Jones. He has been a revelation this season nationally, but we all know in the Big 12 what he's capable of. Florida having a phenomenal year. Got to give it to them. Buzz Williams winning the other day without Wade Taylor on in a big game.
That A&M team beat Texas Tech, albeit without JT Toppin earlier in the non-conference. That one off the mark. Anderson goes flying as Lipsey was down before him.
Now this is certainly inadvertent by Lipsey, but obviously a foul here. And Taman got away with a little, he didn't get away with it actually, but a little push. He loses his balance and Anderson comes down hard. Not surprised, Christian popped up. 94% of the calls right. Chance McMillian doesn't shoot 94% from the foul line. You know what I mean? Give me a break.
Close.
He's close. But I picked a rarity there. These guys are really good at what they do.
Here's McMillian with the ball.
Almost a travel there.
7 on the timer. Anderson, Federico,
nice cut.
Back cut.
Oh! Beautiful job by Federico. I thought the big fella was in trouble, but a great back cut.
High-level execution by the Red Raiders. Jefferson. That's Lipsey in the corner. With 5 on the shot clock. Lipsey to the cup.
I said it earlier, he can go scoreless in a game and have an effect on it, but there are times when he kind of knows that he's got to get them a bucket, and there's a good example right there.
That's That's his first field goal of the game. The lead is 5. They double team Anderson right at half court. He's in trouble. And a 5-second call. The Iowa State defense rises up.
I tell you, Keshon Jackson and Lipsy did a really good job of not fouling there. It's really common for a big guy to reach in and into the cookie jar. There was a little bit of contact, but to me, we were so close, Rich, I didn't see a foul. If there was a foul, it was after the 5 count.
And there sits number 3, Elijah Hawkins. 9 assists on the day, but saddled with 4 fouls.
I think the score will indicate when he comes back. If the Clones get on a run, you'll see him quickly.
That one off the mark. Cleared by Overton.
This is what we call 5 out right here, where the big guy plays away from the basket. We saw that cut on the last possession.
Here's number 5. Bounce pass inside, no. And a foul is going to be called. That's going to go on Chance McMillian.
What you've seen the last 2 possessions, Rich, is what we call great spacing. They take all their guys away from the basket. Big guy plays at the top of the key, and there's room for those cuts.
Check that, it's McMillian going to the line. He's going to shoot 2. And McMillian, the 90+% free throw shooter, hits the first. Ohio State taking on Notre Dame in the College Football Playoff National Championship game presented by AT&T on Monday, January 20th, 7:30 Eastern is when it starts on ESPN, but it's really all-day wall-to-wall coverage. Every platform, TV, radio, digital, so many ways to watch and listen to the biggest game of the year.
Boy, kudos to Ohio State last night. They have some athletes.
Number 7 versus number 8 in terms of seeding, but it doesn't feel that way. Here's Overton. Toppin back on the floor with that bum ankle. And the 3 is short. Cyclones been knocking on the door, but haven't been able to bust through. And Curtis Jones gets fouled, and will go to the line.
I'm watching JT Toppin, Rich, and he's limping. See him bending over right there. Game, they're gym rats, and Curtis Jones I just love guys who just put the work in and get better.
So Jones has 15 today in his 2 road games this season, averaging 21.5. That's in hostile territory at Iowa and then at Colorado.
I think it's a quiet 15, don't you? I think he didn't get a bucket for a large part of that first half.
And now he's got a team-high 16.
He is the best 6th man in the country. Rich, he's got 1 star. That's a good trap. Not good enough.
They forced a 5-second call the last time they did that. This time it's a foul.
Hey, Curtis Jones does have 1 start this year. First game of the season. He had 5 points. And both he and the coaching staff figured out, you know, I think we'll bring you off the bench.
Interesting, the psychology of that. Yeah. Some players like the idea of coming off the bench.
I think he's celebrated by many, including us, as being the best 6th man in the country.
Anderson out to Overton. Ten on the shot clock for the Red Raiders. Short. Overton. Yep. A little too aggressive with that 3.
Well, he's taken 3 jumpers in a row, and they've all been short.
Jones. Heisey, the Northern Iowa transfer, threw it away. That is turnover number 12 for Iowa State. They're down 55-49 on the road. TJ Otzelberger
trying to establish themselves as a team to be reckoned with in this league. They return a lot of quality play. Both teams, Rich, are so similar in that they return a lot of veterans from last year's teams.
Iowa State coming in on a 10-game win streak. That's 2nd longest in college basketball.
Now they go to the zone, which they usually go from zone to man right away, and they do it right here.
Anderson, now McMillian. Overton's been aggressive. Doesn't have much to show for it. Chatfield sets the screen, gets it back from Lipsy, and it's too strong off the back iron.
Remember, all this is being done by Texas Tech with Elijah Hawkins on the bench with 4 fouls. He dominated the first 22, 23 minutes of the game with that passing.
Now the ball in the hands of the freshman Christian Anderson.
That's stealing.
Toppin had it blocked from behind. Here's McMillian. At the other end. Got it! 1 possession ball game.
You have just seen why Brandon Chatfield plays. That play epitomizes what he's brought to this team all year. The Seattle transfer. Most people have never heard of this guy. There's the block, Rich. And as basketball karma has it, McMillian knocks this down, and we're right back in a nail-biter. And McMillian knocking it down. And Rich, here's the story with Chatfield. How did they find him? Well, he was a preferred walk-on at Washington State, where Deshaun Jackson played. And you remember our friend Jazz Kuntz, who was another one of those gritty, tough Cyclones. They checked with both guys, and Jazz Kuntz said, "Coach, Otts, grab this guy. You're going to love him." And you can see why they have. He's that ultimate free agent pickup that does those little things that help you win games.
Sometimes those things can't be measured in a box score.
You're 100% right. That's what all. That's.
Here's Tech, still up by 2, but that might be short-lived. Gilbert, strong take to the hole, and we're tied at 55.
Hey, a good no call right there. Good defense by Darrion Williams. Stayed vertical, a lot of contact, but no foul. I think you got to think about Hawkins here soon.
First tie of the ball game. Texas Tech has led throughout.
I think you're seeing what Hawkins did and what his difference means.
Williams, he's been quiet in the second half. Toppin, left hand, no. And a chance for Iowa State to get their first lead of the afternoon.
I'm going to say 8-minute mark. We're going to get the little guy. In fact, I take that back. They're going to get him right now.
Chatfield, the offensive rebound. Out to Lipsy. Iowa State's on top.
All over the state of Iowa, people are texting each other. These Cyclone fans saying, what about Chatfield?
Texas Tech led by as many as 13. They're down for the first time this afternoon.
Hawkins coming back in.
Here's Williams for 3. Big answer, and we're tied at 58.
Yeah, and I think Williams now with 3 fouls has got to throw caution to the wind and get back to being aggressive on both ends. 3 fouls is no big deal right now for him.
And it's so loud inside the USA, you couldn't even hear the official's whistle.
Well, Brandon Chatfield keeps this ball alive on the offensive glass, kicks it out to Lipsy, who's always the man of the moment, and then Darrion Williams, who I believe is one of the best players in the country, saddled with foul trouble right now, starting to get it going.
So there's Elijah Hawkins. 4 fouls, but 9 assists and no turnovers so far today.
And they're trying to post him up right away.
They go backdoor, out of bounds. And it's going to stay Cyclones basketball.
Right now, if you're Texas Tech, you've got to find a way defensively to protect Elijah Hawkins. You'll see right here, if that ball comes in, they'll probably post him again.
Gilbert, guarded by Hawkins. They go to him. 5 on the shot clock. Here's number 5, Jones, deep 3. Off the left, offensive rebound. A fresh 20 for Iowa State. Tony Padilla stops the clock. There might be a clock issue.
And that should have been reset to 20 on the offensive rebound. It's really interesting what just happened. Gilbert had the ball on Hawkins, and he went right at him to the basket. And Tony Padilla stepped in to fix the shot clock because it reset to 30 instead of 20.
So now there's 15 on the clock, 8:15 to go. Tie ball game number 3. Iowa State on the road. Nearly picked off by Anderson, and it is stolen away.
Nice.
Federico.
Smart play by Keshon Anderson. I thought he was going to take it to the rim. He backed it out, and he allowed Federico to run the court. This kid Federico was a starter for much of his time at Pittsburgh, and he has been a really good addition, Rich. A good fit with JT Toppin, a defensive-oriented big man.
Had 12 in his Big 12 debut against UCF, 14 against Utah. He's scoreless this afternoon after that miss. And now Momcilovic goes out for Iowa State, and Deshaun Jackson back in for TJ Otzelberger.
One thing about Federico that you got to be concerned about if you're Grant McCasland is a very poor foul shooter.
With that make, he's 7 for 19 on the season. 1 for 2 for Federico, a 1-point lead for the Red Raiders. Here's Jefferson, working on Williams. Williams held his ground.
Got a little mismatch here.
Big guarding a little. Jackson trying to stay with Hawkins. It's McMillian for 3. He got it back. Hawkins rejects the ball screen, gets it to Anderson, and he's got a triple. Timeout, TJ Otzelberger. It's as loud as it's been all year inside the United Supermarkets Arena. Keshon Anderson with 3. Elijah Hawkins with 10 dimes.
This league, not easy. A lot at stake here for both teams. Tech looking for that signature win.
It would be their first top 25 win of the year. Grant McCasland had 6 of them last year, but Curtis Jones says not so fast.
As he got that mid-range floater down, I just love watching him play.
And he's 2 points away from his 6th 20-point game of the year. Nice bounce pass. Federico can't pay it off. He'll have to earn it at the stripe.
And the big fella missed a big one at BYU the other night late in that game. But you love all the little things he does. Take a look. You got to finish this big guy. Go strong. Eyes on the rim right here. And the whammy is not a great foul shooter, as we pointed out.
He went 1 for 2 last time out, makes the first.
I used to say when I coach guys like him, and I'm sitting over there sweating, just make one. Give me 1 or 2 and I'm happy.
Well, he's already made Fran Fraschilla happy.
Well, I mean, he made me make me ecstatic here. Are you kidding? And that bench is up and cheering him on.
Federico's made his last 3, and he gives Texas Tech a 4-point lead. Jefferson, Big 12 newcomer of the week this past week.
He's getting a lot of attention from a lot of white jerseys, Jefferson.
8 on the timer. Jones somehow gets it to go. 20 points for Curtis Jones.
That's another good no call right there. Federico went vertical inside, and Jones took it right through him. In the old days, this would have been a foul, but you got to give Curtis Jones credit because this is just an evolving player with a variety of offensive skills. Let's hope Chatfield's okay. Luckily for TJ Otzelberger, they go 8 deep, and there's no drop-off when they bring those guys like Heisey off the bench.
And now Heisey back on the floor.
Remember, Heisey,
3 fouls.
Rich just set up Heisey. He was basically a big player, a big important player at Northern Iowa.
And they're always well coached.
Well coached.
Ben Jacobson over there.
No question. 3rd team all Missouri Valley last year. Again, it's like an NBA playoff team. They picked up great free agents to go along with the veterans.
Tech up 2. Under 6 minutes to go. McMillian showed 3. Goes into the paint instead with the left hand.
When you shoot the way he does, you've got to have a curveball to the fastball, and the drive is. Watch out.
Jones again.
This guy has to be one of the most underrated players in college basketball. He's a non-starter, and I think if you made me choose, he might be their best player. And that's hard.
Williams. No, Federico fights for it, but Gilbert comes away with it. Iowa State could go back on top. And Keshon Gilbert draws the foul.
Well, both teams executing. Take a look, watch Chance McMillian right here. Good finish at the rim. They chase him off the line. And then Curtis Jones, man, he's a magnificent scorer.
Limitless range. Curtis Jones now matching his season high of 23, which he set in their last game, a win over Utah. And Gilbert misses the first. Sixth game this season with 20 or more points for Curtis Jones.
I would say that helps solidify him as the best 6th man in the country.
And now we're tied again, this time at 66. 5 minutes to go. It's crunch time now in the Big 12.
Oh, good hands.
Stolen away by Gilbert. Lipsy, spin cycle, takes it himself.
I want to tell you what's great about that. As soon as he knew he had Elijah Hawkins on him, there was no question he knew he was going to the hole because of Hawkins' foul trouble. That is a high IQ play.
Now Lipsy guarding Hawkins. And a foul going to be called on number 3, Tamin Lipsy.
I want you to watch this, Rich. You know, we talk about smart players, smart point guards, high IQ. This is a perfect example. Gilbert with a great steal. Now watch Lipsy. He knows who's on him, right? There's no hesitation. He's going to the rim because he knows he's going unimpeded.
Iowa State averages 22 points a game off of turnovers. Those last 2 were huge for Tamin Lipsy. Now it's Elijah Hawkins shooting the front end of the 1-and-1.
Hey, guess who's back in for Iowa State?
Grant Chatfield. And Josh Jefferson.
Yeah. I think these 2 teams around college basketball do as good a job picking guys out of the portal as anybody. They understand who fits their schemes, and they do it well.
And Hawkins, a 92% free throw shooter, makes them both. Back and forth we go in Lubbock. Jones, they're looking for him. Gives it up to Jefferson. Left hand, no. And no whistle.
Numbers.
What a pass! What a finish! Timeout, Iowa State. For every punch that Iowa State has, Texas Tech has a counterpunch.
What's at stake? Just climbing to the top of the Big 12. How about the energy?
Can't wait for that. I know where I'll be parked in front of my television to watch some more great college basketball. We've got a great one here inside Lubbock, and Texas Tech has 16 assists on 24 made field goals, none prettier than that one.
Yeah, I yelled numbers because it looked like they had more white shirts. Mr. Obvious, right? And Anderson found the open man. Nice little move right here, hostage.
Curtis Jones with 23, can't get that one to go.
Might be time for Darrion Williams to lock himself into the low post.
Haven't heard much from JT Toppin this half after that twisted ankle. 10 on the shot clock for the Red Raiders. McMillian tried to bully his way to the hole and drew the foul.
We've mentioned it a couple times today, but what you love about some of these guys like Jones and McMillian, they are no longer catch and shoot guys, because the way they're guarded, they have to have a curveball to the fastball. And Chance McMillian, Rich, from last year to this year, is doing such a great job of getting downhill. And why not? He's not a bad foul shooter.
Shooting 58% from the field, 50% from three, and 90+% from the free throw line. Take that, Steph Curry.
You know what he's trying to do? He's trying to get in the 50, 40, 90 club. And the last player to do that in college basketball was Trey Murphy of Virginia.
That was some rarefied air. 17 for McMillian. Gilbert loves taking over in crunch time.
Anderson's defense has been absolutely great.
10 on the clock. Heisey with 4 fouls. Gets it inside to Jefferson. 3 on the shot clock. Lipsy around and out, and Toppin has his 9th rebound of the afternoon.
Poise and toughness. That's what this game will come down to.
Number 3, Iowa State on the ropes. Toppin tried the bounce pass, turned it over. Gilbert, Heisey, great 2. Unselfish basketball from number 10, Keshon Gilbert. Brings the Clones to within 2.
The Clones have gone small because you got Heisey out there as the 4-man. Tells you how TJ's thinking to guard these guys.
Here's the freshman Anderson. Williams with 4 on the shot clock. That's an air ball. And another chance for Iowa State to tie or take the lead. Under 2 to go. Gilbert, the flyby. Offensive rebound, Jefferson, and a foul's called on the floor.
Boy, Joshua Jefferson anchored himself right underneath the rim, and he was fortunate that Keshon shot a very soft ball. And it's not a stretch of the imagination that he's got elements of George Niang in his game.
Here's Jefferson again.
Should have been a foul.
And the whistle is blown before the shot.
Yep, good call. Foul was on the floor. What makes this Iowa State team so dangerous from now until the end of the year is so many weapons, and this guy certainly is one of them. You see how physical he is.
Iowa State still not in the bonus. They'll call a timeout. 15 points and 8 rebounds.
If you're a Clone and you get tied up, take the jump ball because you have possession. Don't throw the ball away.
It's in the hands of Jones for 3. Off the mark, Williams the weak side rebound.
I thought that was a little quick, but the way he's played this year, you have to live with that look.
Hawkins has 10 assists and no turnovers today.
And he's been terrific with 4 fouls.
Now he's got to switch. Gives it up. And Toppin misses the bunny. Missed again. Gilbert draws the foul.
I like that. What Gilbert just did is he attacked the defense in the open court. He had the freshman on him. The defense was not set up to stop him, so he took it right to the basket. Take a look. He recognizes that the defense is not set up, so he bullies right into Anderson, and he's going to get a chance to tie this game.
Keshon Gilbert, a 75% free throw shooter. The senior from St. Louis having a breakout season in Ames. And he misses the front end. What do you think Tech's going to do?
Well, they got 2 timeouts, but they're going to probably be pick and roll with the Hawkins. Someone's going to run up soon and set a ball screen.
Here's Anderson with the screen. Hawkins keeps it. 3 on the timer. Lost control, but drew the foul.
And that was what we call a little ghost screen right here. They went guard to guard with the screens, and you see Keshon reaches in. And a good call by the officials right there. Tony Padilla, one of the best.
So Elijah Hawkins steps to the line. 92% from the stripe this season. He's 4 for 4 today. Around and out.
Wow. That doesn't happen often. This is Rich, it's going to be interesting to see how Iowa State plays this down 2, down 3. Down 2, it's easy. Go to the rim and attack. Down 3, do you go to the rim or you try to set up for the 3?
Remember, they're out of timeouts. 20.4 on the clock. Shot clock is off. And Hawkins goes 1 for 2. And Texas Tech wants to talk it over and set their defense.
Now, Rich, Texas Tech throughout a game doesn't like to switch. This is a situation here where you may see more switching in order to not give up the 3 ball.
Here's Gilbert. Crosses over Anderson. Gets it at close range and gets it to go 13.9 left.
Okay, now Toppin's going down the floor, so you're going to have to foul a good foul shooter.
They get it inbounds. It's Williams to Hawkins. And he found Christian Anderson. 7 seconds to go. And they have to foul. 3 Cyclones converge. And Chance McMillian will go to the line.
I'm going to tell you, Keshon Jackson, when he watches this game, when you're down 1, he should have come up and gone for the steal. Because he laid back, and I think that's what they may be telling him. In that situation, you got to play 5-on-5, and Jackson, instead of the safety, had to come up and blitz that pass that was in the air for a while.
So Chance McMillian, a 91% free throw shooter, steps to the line. And the first one rolls off.
All right, now. Grant McCaslin, they will not foul. Iowa State must get it in quickly, and you know the rule, Rich. 1 dribble per second. Plenty of time to go coast to coast.
Cyclones will have a chance to at least tie this game, if not win it, after that free throw. And Grant McCaslin uses his final timeout.
I'd say 6'2", 6'1".
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And you know what? Yep, they're coming over to tell us, and I mean, that's good officiating, man.
It is.
You know, in the old days, they never would have had an opportunity to go look at the clock, and that half a second is monstrous.
Crucial.
Yep. I think it's going to be Lipsy. I got a feeling he's going to be the guy with the ball in his hands.
Number 10 in gold, Keshon Gilbert, will trigger the inbound. Clones have to go 94 feet to try to tie or win this game. It's Momcilovic. Now Lipsy across half court. 2 on the clock. Lipsy, Jefferson, it's in! It counts! We're going to overtime! What a read by Tamin Lipsy, and what a finish by Josh Jefferson.
I got the best job in the world. I get to coach and never lose a game. It was I thought they got a little discombobulated when it went back to Momcilovic, but they, like I said, Rich, 6.2 is a lifetime to go end to end, and a great pass by Lipsy. And oh man, the young man from Ames who grew up wanting to be a Cyclone, offered a scholarship in 8th grade. Mom and dad still working on campus. How cool is this?
And you want to know how valuable a half a second is? Just ask TJ Otzelberger.
You know, not only that the basket counts, that there's no time left.
Score is confirmed.
For toughness and defense, both very good offensive teams, which I think is going to help them throughout the year and into March.
Iowa State, no stranger to coming back. They were down by as many as 13 today. They were down by 13 on the road at Iowa and won that game in the Cyhawk series.
Both point guards playing with 4 fouls, so they got to be judicious.
Here's Hawkins. 10 assists, no turnover. Can't get the bucket there. And here's Keshon Gilbert. 12 points, 4 assists for him in regulation.
How about this small lineup that Ox is staying with? Izzy at the 4, Jefferson at the 5.
With 10 on the shot clock, shovel pass, handled by Jefferson. Now out to Lipsy, 5 to shoot. Gilbert.
Well, I'd like to see that. Yeah, I'd love to see that again. Chance Moore had a great view of it. TJ did not argue it. Keshon's usually really good with his footwork in the paint. Well, he moved him. Yep, he moved him. Moved the puppies.
So here's Anderson, the freshman. Tried to thread the needle to Chance McMillian and threw it away.
Freshman's been terrific today. That time a little careless. What you love about these two teams is like there's 7 or 8 go-to guys on the court. He's a go-to guy.
Game high 23 for Jones. Make it 26.
Good basketball. It ain't hard when you got a guy like him. By the way, great job of Josh Jefferson of playing a little 2-man game. Little peekaboo to get Jones open.
Curtis Jones unlocked this season. A new season high for him, 26. Hawkins. Anderson with 5 to shoot.
Good D.
Step back 3. The freshman. Precocious.
Of course. They will check to make sure he got it off. No indication that it wasn't good.
Dean for Christian Anderson. Powered by 4 3-pointers.
Kansas head to Ames and take on these Cyclones. Kansas with a road win today at Cincinnati.
Texas Tech will go on the road to Manhattan to take Kansas State on. Coming up next. Air ball by Heisey.
I didn't like that look from Heisey. 32% on the season. They can do better than that.
Williams. Heisey's got 4 fouls. Williams. Put him in the hurt locker.
Yes. The shackles are off because the fouls are not a problem now. That's where they live down the stretch in games usually.
Look at the defense by Anderson, 10 on the clock. Jones, off the window, too strong. scramble for the loose ball. Who wants it? It's loose. And a shot clock violation call. The ball never touched the rim on that possession. It'll be Texas Tech basketball.
Watch the scrum here. The effort. They're looking for a jump ball. Heisey gets rid of it. But by the time there's another scrum, there's a shot clock violation. You know, it's early in the season. I think this game means more to Texas Tech than it does Iowa State. Iowa State wants to win this game and be number 2 on Monday, but Tech needs a signature win now that they're completely healthy.
Here's Anderson. Rises up, knocks it down. Gilbert at the other end. The floater doesn't go. The tip doesn't go either. And a foul called on the floor. That's going to go on Texas Tech.
Well, how about Keshon Anderson? We talked about him early in the game. The freshman, originally signed with Michigan. That changed when they made a coaching change. He is a name on the international tour playing for Germany. You'll see him on the Olympic team someday in time. Dual citizen, dad played overseas. They live in Lubbock now. What a performance.
A season high 18 for number 4 in white, Keshon Anderson. Keshon Gilbert silences the USA crowd here in Lubbock with his 13th point of the afternoon. Both free throws good for Gilbert. Here's Williams guarded by Heisey again.
I would definitely play through Williams. He can shoot it.
Lines it up. Can't knock it down. And a foul call. That looks like it's going to be on JT Toppin.
That means we'll shoot free throws, Rich.
And that's Toppin's 3rd, and Iowa State is going back to the free throw line. 13 for 20 today for the Cyclones from the stripe.
This guy at the line is 82% coming in. Pretty reliable. What a game. Exactly what we expected. First of all, Rich, Iowa State is a Final Four contender. And what Tech is trying to do is to get into the echelon where they're thought of as an NCAA team, which I think they are and will be.
And the analytics bear that out as well.
Absolutely.
Jefferson.
I'm telling you, Jefferson, Chatfield, Heisey, Jackson, you couldn't get 4 perfect transfers, probably for the money too, by the way, than you can with these guys. They fit the culture.
Jefferson has a dozen. Now he's got a baker's dozen. 1 minute to go. Texas Tech with the ball in a 1-point lead. We've had 7 ties and 6 lead changes, and that foul's going to go on number 2, Josh Jefferson.
He's been quiet today, Darrion Williams, but when you need points, you see the reach in by Gilbert right there. This guy took over the BYU game in Provo Tuesday night, and we haven't seen everything from him because of foul trouble. I haven't even looked, Rich. How many's he got?
Darrion Williams now has 3 fouls.
Oh, points.
Oh, points. He's got a dozen.
And it's a quiet dozen because of the foul trouble.
Texas Tech, one of the better 3-point shooting teams in the nation. They have 9 today, but it's been an all-around effort from these Red Raiders to hang with Iowa State. Not much separating these two teams talent-wise.
I would agree. The line was 1 in favor of Iowa State, and it's played out that way.
And this home court advantage, would you agree, maybe the most underrated home court advantage in college basketball?
I agree, and the students are not here. Wait till they get back next week. This is a team that shoots 78% from the line, and Three of their best free throw shooters have missed crucial ones here.
Williams goes 1 for 2. It's a 2-point game.
Chatfield back. Great offensive rebounder, great screener.
Gilbert spins, can't hit the tough one. Jefferson, extra effort.
This kid played at St. Mary's last year, started the year until he got hurt midway through the season, and he is awesome.
Now the Clones with a 1-point lead. Hawkins, no, I don't know if that's an assist, but it will go anyway.
Give it to him.
Timeout, Texas Tech with 15.4 to go.
Watch Joshua Jefferson work his magic on the offensive glass right here. Pump fake, hangs in the air, gets it done. And then Hawkins, we're going to give him an assist on this one. It's the lob, Rich. The lob below the rim, but how about Darrion Williams? Johnny on the spot. And again, we're in a similar situation.
Let's go back to the end of regulation. Iowa State was down 2. Tamin Lipsey, the ball in his hands, and Josh Jefferson, the finish at the buzzer to send us to the OT.
Now, when you're down 1 the way Iowa State is, you want to get the first, quickest, good shot you can so that you have a chance to get on the offensive glass.
Iowa State riding a 10-game win streak. That's the second longest in the country, the most of any major conference team. Texas Tech looking for their first home win against a top 5 team in 7 years. The last time it happened in Lubbock was against a number 2 ranked West Virginia team back in 2018.
This time Lipsey took it out, so it's going to be Gilbert for now.
Gilbert lost it. Who's got it? It's going to stay Iowa State basketball.
That's how it looks, but they will go to the monitor. Here comes Gilbert.
The review is for timing.
Yeah, it's going to be white. It's going to be gold ball underneath. They'll look at the time. They got the call right.
The clock will be set to 8.4 seconds.
Close, 8.4. That's almost another second. You call these situations special teams situations. What do you think TJ Otzelberger has in his back pocket?
Well, first of all, he's got to get it in cleanly. And then, because he's got different weapons, Rich, you know, it could be Jones, it could be Gilbert, it could be Lipsey. But you also have 2 great offensive rebounders, which you, if you're Grant McCasland, you got to be concerned about.
So they have Jefferson triggering the inbound. 8.4 on the clock. Back into Jefferson. Blocked from behind, but a foul is called.
And guess what they did also? They got the offensive rebound if they weren't going to get the shot. So now, Jefferson, who just made 2, take a look right here. Looks like a foul from behind. And the 82% foul shooter who just calmly made both has got to now have a chance to help the Cyclones win this ball game.
And the fouls on Darrion Williams, his 4th. 15 for Jefferson. He's 3 for 4 from the line today. Clutch, make it 4 for 5. And it is nail-biting time in Lubbock.
Texas Tech has got no timeouts left, so they're going to have to get this ball in cleanly and quickly.
He's got them both, and Iowa State's up 1.
Now, TJ subs to get their defense set, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, you can go end to end in 4 seconds. It's got to be a clean catch. Look for a hook and ladder right here.
4.1 left. Williams with the ball. Tech down 1 for the win. It's off the back iron. And Iowa State comes from 13 down to win it on the road in overtime. 11 straight now for the number 3 Cyclones, who might be up to number 2 come Monday. Curtis Jones with 23 is your Phillips 66 player of the game, but so many people contributed to this win for the Clones.
Well, both teams had big-time heroes today. Obviously, the Clones survive. This is a great look by Darrion Williams. He goes off the wrong foot here, and I think he still had a little time, but he got a good look. But, hey, listen, there's championship DNA on the Cyclone team, and we saw it today.
An unbelievable game and an equally entertaining overtime. Iowa State comes from behind to win it by 1. They improve to 14-1 and 4-0 in the Big 12. Up next, Carl Ravitch and Jimmy Dykes with SEC basketball from Fayetteville. Take it away, Carl.
Welcome inside Bud Walton Arena. Congratulations.